Prepare to get gas because it's time for the Week in Gear. This week, I have found the ugliest Les Paul I have ever seen, which means for someone it is the most beautiful Les Paul they will ever see, because that's how things work. There's also a bunch of pedals, plus EPIPHONE have released something I would potentially buy. That being said, this week was not the most exciting week for gear, but let's work together. Let's see what we can do. Thankfully, there is some exciting gear courtesy of this episode's sponsor, SEMITONE. More about them in a little bit. Okay, before we kick off this week's most exciting gear releases, to say thank you for 120,000 subscribers, I am giving away a custom paint job wannabe from BTronics. So, if you like clones or blues breakers or just pedals in general, then follow the link in the video description and first comment. I wish you good luck. Now, let's actually kick off this week's most exciting gear releases with something new from EHX. The LPB3 is the latest version of the linear power booster from ELECTRO HARMONIX. This time, EHX have added an EQ, so not only can you add up to 33 decibels of clean boost, you can shape that boost using the treble, bass, and parametric mid-range control. You can also fine-tune that boost with the pre-gain knob. The LPB3 comes in an EHX nano-sized enclosure, so it doesn't need too much space on your pedal board. You can also select bypass or buffered switching, and weirdly, it comes with a standard 9-volt power supply, which quite frankly baffles me, and I do not know why ELECTRO HARMONIX do that, because they could save on shipping, they could save on the power supply, and just send the pedal. If anyone knows why they do that, if ELECTRO HARMONIX is watching this, let me know in the comments or reach out on Instagram. I would absolutely die to know. That's not true. I would just really like to know. The LPB3 is coming in at around 129 notes, which is considerably more than the LPB1, which is still available for around 40 notes. But that one doesn't come with any of the tone shaping or switching options, it's just a boost. On paper, the LPB3 seems like a much better pedal than the LPB1. However, this new one is not just a souped up EQ pedal, and it seems to have quite a lot of thought put into it. Now, this is one of those pedals that some of us would never ever consider, but for others could be an absolute necessity in pushing the front end of an amp for cutting through the band for solos, or getting even really more fat riffs. Remember when EPIPHONE used to release affordable versions of Gibson guitars? Well, unbelievably, they've actually done that this week. The EPIPHONE Miranda Lambert BLUEBIRD acoustic is a 1-to-1 recreation of her esteemed signature Gibson acoustic guitar. Those safely back in there. It's a square-shouldered dreadnought with a layered mahogany back and sides. It's got a solid Sitka spruce top in blue bonnet finish. The neck is a rounded C mahogany neck with a 12-inch radius laurel fingerboard. It also comes with EPIPHONE Deluxe tuners and a Fishman's Sonitone pickup system, which is a preamp and a piezo thing. You can plug it in. The price that interested me so much? It's around $800 American. And then the price increases outside of the US, but considering this is an artist model in 2024, the year of expensive guitars, that's about the price that I think EPIPHONE should be at. Yeah, I'm a little tempted. About the artist, Miranda Lambert, if you haven't heard of her, is a Texas-born Grammy Award-winning country music star and singer-songwriter. And some of her music slaps. I was actually listening to her as I was putting this week's list together, and she has some powerful music that I think would appeal to a lot of you because there's some great guitar in a lot of it. My favorite was a song called Mama's Broken Heart, and I recommend that you go and check it out. Back to the guitar, I would possibly take a chance on this if I found one that played amazing, but I wouldn't order it online. I'd have to find one that I fell in love with, because I do love that color. The specs are pretty typical EPIPHONE with a little bit of spiciness on top, but this should be a straight up reliable and very cool looking stage guitar that would definitely stand out in a sea of tobacco bursts and natural tops and all that. And with this Fishman system, it should be a very easy plug in and go. Links to this are in the video description and the first comment as always. And if the blue appeals to you, then why not go for the Gibson version, which is around $5K, and use my affiliate links. It's only money after all. Before we get to number 3 on the list, it's now time to talk about this week's sponsor, Semitone. Semitone is a UK-based online marketplace for new, used, and vintage instruments, but has buyers, sellers, and listings from all over the world. You can find everything from pristine 1960s Fender Strats through to artist gear owned by the likes of Noel Gallagher, Megadeth, and The Darkness. This is a vintage Les Paul from 1979. It's going to cost you about $8,000 unless you make an offer, which you can do on Semitone. Here's something from The Darkness, their Roland Chorus Echo SRE 555. Piece of history there, used in their studio and available on Semitone. On the slightly more affordable things, if you go into the electric guitars section and filter by used, you can find stuff like this PRS SE Custom 24 for under €600. So those are my highlights from the Semitone website, but if you'd like to take a look yourself, go to SEMITONE.APP. I'll put a link in the video description and first comment. On with the show! This is the part where I say, if you're enjoying this weekly show, consider the subscribe button and maybe give it a thumbs up and leave a comment so that more people get to see it in the future. Thank you! The Midknight Valencia by 𝗬𝗢𝗙𝗪 amps is an amp in a box based on the Orange AD30 HTC. There are controls for bass, middle and treble, gain and volume, and you might have noticed there is a great big 𝗬𝗢𝗪𝗥7 tube sticking out of it. The tube is running at 277 VDC, which sounds very impressive, and some of the components used in this are the same as the components that you would find in sub-tube amps. Also impressive. There is an official demo by 𝗬𝗢𝗪 amps, and while it doesn't show very much, I hear some very strong Noel Gallagher and Oasis vibes there, which makes me very happy. This is at number 2 on my list this week because it stuck out as something a bit different by a company that I'd never heard of before. And while they desperately need some more sound samples to show off the pedal and, some different settings, I took a look at their website and they're actually offering some really interesting stuff. And in a pedal world full of Marshall and Fender and Mesa Boogie clones and amps in boxes, anything orange always grabs my eye, and I can hear the potential of a really good crunch there. On the downside, there is no way I would ever take a pedal on stage that has a tube sticking out of it above the little guard, because my massive feet would just come in and clomp and destroy that within minutes. But I would love to hear more from 𝗬𝗢𝗪, and if you are a player who loves to own gear that is a little bit unknown, then this could be for you. The Midknight Valencia is handmade in Canada and is available for $299 without a tube, and if you want a tube, it's $325. And for the first time ever on this show, those dollars are Canadian dollars, eh? Sorry. So that puts this at a pretty affordable, I think about $200 American, about 200 euros and 190 pounds. I don't know, Victor will sort something out on the screen. Says, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it's not as expensive as I first thought it was, and it's actually pretty affordable for a hand-built pedal that is somewhat unique. If you're into supporting small pedal builders, then I put a link in the video description and first comment. Go and check them out, and if anyone buys one, let me know what it sounds like. At number 2 this week is a new Gibson /Signature, because we haven't had one for about 2 weeks. And no, it's not that ugly Les Paul that I was talking about earlier. That's still to come. The /Signature 63 ES-335 is based on Slash's own 1963 ES-335 that he used to track some songs on his latest album, Orgy of the Damned. Finished in Murphy Lab Nitro Vintage Sunburst, it's got a bound 3-ply maple poplar. It's got a hang on, I'm so excited. It's got a bound 3-ply maple poplar maple body, that's hard to say, with a solid maple center block. It's got a 60s slim taper C, mahogany neck, and an Indian rosewood fretboard. It's got 2 unpotted custom Bucker Alnico 2 pickups, which are some of my absolute favorites, and a Bigsby B7. I want to say 2 things about this. Number 1, I love the look, and I love custom Buckers. I think they're my favorite. Well, they are my favorite Gibson pickups. So I think this could actually be a pretty great guitar. Not just another Gibson cash-in that just happens to come out at the right time to promote Slash's new album. But wait, this is not just a guitar you are buying, if you buy it. You're also getting a collection of case candy that includes a signed copy of Slash's new album, Orgy of the Damned, a signed copy of The Collection, Slash's coffee table book, and a certificate of authenticity. So a bit of paper with some numbers on it. And you will be invited to attend an exclusive VIP experience at the Gibson Garage in Nashville, where Slash and his blues band will treat fans to an intimate live performance and signing event, which probably makes up for the fact that there is, as far as I can see, no indication on the guitar that this is a Slash signature, because you get it signed at the event. Here comes the part you're actually waiting for. The Slash ES-335 will be limited to just 50 models and is coming in at not $5,000, not $50,000, but $14,999. And if you want to order one, you need to contact the Gibson Garage directly. So there is little to no chance of accidentally walking into your local music shop and accidentally picking up a very expensive ES-335 that doesn't have Slash written on it anywhere. So we saved you some money. You're welcome. This is clearly a marketing tool to promote the new album, and I'm kind of fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that because, well, you've got to sell your music, right? But at this stage, it seems like Gibson and Slash have almost become one entity, and they can barely exist without each other in some sort of weird symbiotic relationship. And I would love to know what would happen if Slash ever decided to go elsewhere. It would never never say never. It would almost certainly never happen. But above all, although this is a crazy price and not aimed at us normal hoi polloi, I think that this is a great looking guitar, and I suspect that if Gibson make them well, they're going to sound good as well. But if you just want the instrument and the sound, you can definitely get someone to make you one. Even get a custom guitar for about a third of that price. But if you're the kind of dentist that invests in guitars, then there are only 50 of these made. And quite frankly, if I could get my hands on one and I had 15 grand to spare at this moment and could fly to Nashville, I think that's possibly a better investment than some of the other investment opportunities out there at the moment. Although, you know, guitars should be played.
Andy's Pick of the Week.
My pick of the week is from Solar Guitars, and it's another signature model. This is the signature model of Marcus SIEPEN from Blind Guardian. And I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly. SIEPEN. I think that's right. The S1.6 MS is an Evertune-equipped Superstrat style guitar, so it's an S1. It's in quilted green burst gloss, with gold hardware. The body is a quilted maple on mahogany with a mahogany neck. It's got a 13 3/4 inch ebony fretboard with 24 stainless steel frets and Fishman Fluence modern pickups. This is not something that would normally appeal to me, but there's something about that color and the specs that make this a very interesting instrument indeed. Although, it's also a set neck, which I don't get to see very often, and I don't personally think I would buy this guitar, but it is the most interesting release this week for me. And every time I look at the pictures or look at the spec list, I feel a little bit of a twinge inside. However, the problem begins when we look at the price, which is €1,700, and this is direct to customer buying, so there's no way to try it without buying it first. And I could say the same thing about Harley Benton, but Harley Benton is much less of a price risk. I really like the elegance of this guitar. It feels like something that would be, I don't know, the king would play, maybe. And every time I look at the spec list, genuinely, it just keeps proving that it seems to be a pro instrument. Certainly not something that is cut price in any way. And all that for under 2,000 notes. Yeah. I know some people are going to have some really strong opinions on that, but compared to other guitars, it's not that bad. Now, I've never owned a Solar guitar, and I've only ever played 2, one of which was absolutely terrible and couldn't be played out of the box. The other was fantastic, and I enjoyed it very much. Again, if you're looking for something a little bit different, then this could be a great choice. But I think if you're willing to go more mainstream and possibly more reliable, I think for less money, you'd be better off getting an Ibanez RG, although they don't do them in this finish and with that ebony board. If Ibanez came out with something that looked like that, I'd be all over it. It is, however, great to see more guitars equipped with Evertune bridges. I think these are great and definitely useful if you're playing live or recording. If anyone buys one of these, please contact me and let me know what it's like. I'm not gassing over it, but I'm urging to know if it's any good. And if I ever see one, I will be running, not walking, to pick it up and play it. Also, these are shipping on June the 10th, which incidentally is my birthday. So you never know, someone might want to give me an extra special birthday present this year, maybe? Something quilted green and gold hardware. There's a link to Solar guitars and all the gear that I've talked about in this video in the video description and the first comment. Some of them are affiliate links, some of them aren't, but I have not forgotten about that ugly Les Paul. Get ready. Eye bleach next to you just in case. I don't have any. I've got some fast cred. Right. Take a look at this. This is made by Gibson for Thoman's 70th anniversary. And my goodness, is it everything I hate about expensive Les Pauls. From the price to the color scheme and the fact that it comes with a just standard case. I hate it. As an aesthetic thing. I can't comment on the playability of the sounds, which of course is more important than the looks. But just as an instrument that would inspire me to play, this isn't one of those. The only redeeming factor though is that it comes with custom buckers. And I'll put a link to it in the video description and first comment. And I'll use affiliate links. So if someone wants to spend 8,000 euros on that, please use my links. But eye bleach at the ready. Thank you to the wonderful people that support this show on Patreon. Their names are on screen now. Also, thank you to the lovely people showing their support right here on YouTube by joining the channel. Their names are also on screen. Hello. There you go. If you would like your name up there on screen, then click the join button right here on YouTube or visit my Patreon link. And here's a special thanks to the top tier members, and I will read them as if I am the butler introducing them at a high society party. Sarang Narayan, Andrew Morgan, PQ Deads, Dustin Bonnet, Gary O'Neill, Josh Tanberg, Chris Huff, Doug Paget, Alinta Boston, Boom Shakalaka, Dirk. This prank is officially sponsored by Jason Welch, Buzzle, Michael Lerner, Buddha Blue, 𝗬𝗓𝗪𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗦𝗛𝗦𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 what's on offer at Semitone. I hope you find something cool. There is the subscribe button, and do the thumbs up thing. And don't forget to comment your pick of the week down below, and I will see you in the next one. Woo! Bye-bye! Still here.